Okay, opening and closing the case. It generally doesn't close. So if you look in here, when you close it, it shouldn't close. That's not supposed to close like that. A lot of people think that it should be adjusted to close, but that's bad because if you leave your keys in there and you close it and your keys are locked, that's not good. So to close it, you have to turn it so this lever goes all the way over, and then you close it and lock it. So unlock it, and the lever here is over there. It's not supposed to close, okay? That's normal. So when you want to close it, you got to turn it all the way to the right, bring it down and close it, and she's locked. Come around to this side now. There's another little thing that happens. I'm just going to get a little tiny screwdriver here. And you're going to want to always keep a little screwdriver inside the case here. So to open this, you press this and it releases this latch right here. Okay? Now you'll see that the latch is open and it's 99.99% always like that. And you close it and it locks. You push the button and it opens. Sometimes, okay, and I mean once out of a blue moon, when you close it, it doesn't close. And what happens is this latch somehow gets stuck in the closed position like it is now. Okay, I just forced it there. So what you want to do is push the button and it opens. Sometimes it gets stuck. You just need a little screwdriver to knock it out. When I say sometimes, it hasn't happened in a year, but I always keep a screwdriver in there because it bothers me that I can't close it. So that's it. One push to open it and it closes. Okay. Next thing, you're going to have to figure out a way to fill up gas without spilling it everywhere. So what some people do, I don't, but if you go to Scooter West, they'll tell you that when you open the gas tank, okay, to lift this and just put that there so that if you spill gas, it goes down there, but I don't like it going down there because it goes on the tire and everything else. What you want to do is take the thing and put it in, and it's super gas only. Put it all the way in and go slow enough so that it'll stop. If you go too slow, it won't trigger the stop. So you gotta get that right. And then once it stops, you can creep a little bit in, but I suggest not to. Some people want to fill it all the way. This is the thing with Vespas, is getting used to filling the gas, believe it or not. Because otherwise it spills out. There's a little reservoir. You'll smell like gas for like 10 minutes while you ride, and it drains on the bottom and it's gone. So no big deal. I always grab some rag and that's it. Okay, next. Always have the screwdriver in the box. Okay, so to open this is this button here, okay? And to open this compartment, you can push, even though the key is not in there, you can still open it. And this is where I'm going to have a plastic bag in there. You'll have the master key. Don't ever lose that master key because that's what you need to program another key in the system, because this has an alarm that if you don't have the key, no matter what, it won't start. And the registration will be in here signed. Now, to start the bike, now, second of all, to lock everything when you're going, you turn it all the way to the left, like on a motorcycle, and you turn that all the way to the left, and you take it out. And that way, this won't turn, they can't steal the bike, this won't open, and that won't open. Okay? So, then you can lock it, and that's it. Now, next, to start the bike, you turn it to the right, the little orange light's on, and you push the start button. It won't start. You need to have a brake on. She'll start fine. Okay? So that's how you start the bike. You need to be pushing one of the two brakes in order for it to start. If it doesn't turn over, like this, it's because the shutoff emergency shutoff has been clicked by somebody in the move, or sometimes I knock it when I'm moving the bike and it doesn't start, and that's a problem. Now, next. There's a blinking light there. This is a feature that I put in, and there's also a feature for the turn signals that makes a noise. That's an add-on that I put in here. And this feature here should be green. It tells you the charge. If you want to read up on it, I put in little silver the codes on the door on the inside, the little blinks, if it's orange, red, what it means, and what the voltages are. And here's where you adjust your tire pressure according to your 1 or 2 up. Now, you want to check the tires all the time, and I'm going to give you, you're going to have a tool, which I will get to in 1 second for the shocks. Shut that off. See off? Okay, so the next thing you should know is in here, inside here, this part here opens up, and there's your emergency tool, and you'll have tools in there that you need for the bike if ever there's an emergency. And this is a tool for the spark plug, and be very careful when you remove the spark plug. And this is a tool for the back shock. Why do you need a tool for the back shock? Because there's an adjustment. Right now it's on the lowest, most comfort level for a sport bike. I mean, for sport shocks. I find it very comfortable. However, if you're going to ride 2 up and you're going to have luggage, and depending on your weight, I'm 165, 170, okay? So depending on your weight, you may want to turn it up 2 notches, okay? You should be able to see that on the shock. You'll see the little thing, and this goes in, and you just crank it up, and it'll go click, click. So you could go up 2 clicks if you were riding 2 up. You can try it like this, but if you notice that it bottoms out, then you just tighten the 2 back shocks up. The front shocks, there's instructions. It's again made for somebody up to 180. I've got a pump in there for you. You can pump it up a bit, but I think it's good to 190, 200 pounds. So try it, see if the front end is good, you like it. You can make adjustments, and how to do that is in this book, and there's a sheet right there on how to adjust the shocks and the weight depending on how much you weigh. This is a Malossi Air Filter. I was going to get around to it. It's not urgent, but within the next, well, this end of this season, I would change the air filter. Now, the stock air filter is an oil air filter where you take it, you clean it, and you spray oil. I don't like that. So this is a double red Malossi. That doesn't need oil. So when you take the old one out, you can clean the compartment and just put that in. You don't need to put the oil on. There's all sorts of parts in here as well. So that is in there. So you're going to have your parts in there, and that's it. Check the tire pressure. And again, the back tire has to have a different pressure if you're riding 2 up and with luggage. Okay? Now, we'll just start this one more time. Okay, high beams are here on, or you can push down and blink them if you want to flick anybody. Turn signals left, right. Horn is here. And that's the start button, and that's an emergency stop. And turn it off. Okay? If you go on the side here, this is for when you have a passenger. Now, just so you know, if your wife is riding up, this seat comes off. So this would come off, basically, it just slides out like that, so that you can have a passenger here, and you don't need the backrest, okay? So now, if your passenger has shorter legs or finds this position not comfortable, they do sell at Scooter West and a few scooter shops an add-on which makes this come out longer. It makes it bigger. I've never had to use it, but if you do, that's that. So this can be adjusted. There's instructions inside on that. Last, this is the windshield. There's the other one that goes just around here that you may prefer. However, if you're taking this off, please take note how it goes back together. This goes one way. This goes one way. The inside goes one way. I have a nice video on my website about that, so just feel free to refer to installation of windshield. But if I were you, I would take some pictures of how this windshield goes together because it is tricky. One thing I can tell you, don't tighten these here until these are all in place and tightened, and then you make slight adjustments and tighten these two bolts. I've left you a thing here. You can buy a little thing to put your phone on if you like, to have maps or put on a GPS. That's about it. I think, check the oil periodically. I've never had a problem with it leaking oil. I change the oil every 4,000 or 5,000 kilometers. There's an oil filter in there. You can read about the oil. It's a standard oil, synthetic. Motorcycle oil. Don't put car oil into a motorcycle. Never ever do that. I hope that you take as good care of her as I have, and that's it.